so today is Foundation Friday, my favorite day of the week. If you missed last week's Foundation Friday video, I'm gonna link that down below. I'm also gonna be putting all these videos in a playlist, so you can just click the playlist and see all of the Foundation Friday videos. I asked you guys to vote on Instagram, which in hindsight was a bad decision on my part because I can't actually see which one won. There was like hundreds of comments. So I think Smashbox won. I'm definitely going to be doing the CoverGirl Clean Matte BB Cream next week. So if you voted on that and it didn't win, clearly, don't worry. This is coming next week. I know I've been doing a lot of high-end foundations. Gonna get some drugstore ones in the mix for sure. I'm also going to an event today, so I didn't want to wear this one because I wasn't sure how the coverage was going to be and how it was going to like hold up. I just realized this will be the first video with my new hair. I think I posted about it on Instagram and you guys have obviously seen me on Snapchat, but I just realized this video is actually going up before the hair video. So video explaining all about the hair and how I got it to the next stage on the way to silver. That video will be up next week. That's kind of cool because I usually pre-record like a couple weeks in advance, but I can actually tell you guys stuff in the same week that it's happening. Thanks Foundation Friday. Let's put the cap on. That looks nicer. It says you can be flawless for 15 hours. Sign me up. So if you follow me on Twitter, you saw about a month ago, I think, I tweeted about Smashbox releasing 10 new shades of their Studio Skin foundation. I believe they also reformulated it. I don't have the old version. I've never tried this foundation at all. The lightest shade of this always looked too dark for me, so as soon as I saw that they released some new light shades, I purchased this. I actually bought this on Smashbox's website. When it first came out, the new shades were only available on Smashbox. Now you can get it on Sephora. I have the shade 0.5, which is the lightest one they make now. Alright, so swatch time. Right here is the Smashbox foundation in the lightest shade, 0.5. As you can see, it's quite a bit more orange than the other shades. This is the Urban Decay Naked Foundation in the lightest shade, Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless in 110, Kat Von D Lock-It Tattoo in L42, Tarte Rainforest of the Sea in the lightest shade. I'm going to read some of the claims off of the box. They actually have more to say on the box than they do on the Smashbox and Sephora websites. So it says it's a hydrating foundation created in our LA photo studio to look and feel amazing throughout an entire 15-hour shoot. So this is supposed to be good for, obviously, camera, flash photography, I'm assuming. It says it's medium to full buildable coverage. Oil-free, controls oil all day. I do have combination skin with cystic acne, so I tend to get oily in my T-zone throughout the day. So we shall see how this controls oil. Sweat, humidity, and exercise resistant, color true and transfer resistant, demi matte finish. This does come in a glass bottle, loving the matte black top. It has 1 fluid ounce of product and this retails for $42. If you guys are excited about Foundation Fridays, give this video a thumbs up. You can always let me know down below your suggestions. So if you want to see how the Smashbox Studio Skin Foundation applies and wears throughout the day, you're in the right place, just keep watching. Cheers. I have a boring cup today. Let's pin back the hairs. I feel 0% awake right now. What time is it? 7:23 in the morning. I'm going to this thing right now, so we're getting up early to film. Ooh, I like the packaging, even though it's super simple. It has this like matte black top. There's the tapping again. So I'm just gonna pump some foundation on the back of my palette. It's supposed to be medium to full coverage, so I'm just gonna apply about that much. So I'm gonna use a brush on one side of my face and then a sponge on the other. This is the Makeup Geek brush. What is this? Foundation stippling brush. I just ordered it and it feels super soft, so I'm excited. And I have primed my face. I used the Jouer Anti-Blemish Matte Primer. So I'm gonna go in with the brush on this side. I feel like this is a pretty small brush. This brush is really nice. I just feel like it's kind of small. I'm gonna try a different brush for my forehead. I did use up that whole amount, so I'm gonna put a little bit more on. This is the Sigma F80 Flat Top Kabuki. I'm just gonna go on my forehead. Off the bat, this reminds me of something. What does this remind me of? It does have a kind of gel-like formula to me, and it isn't full coverage right off the bat. I would definitely say this is more on the medium side. Definitely gonna have to do a second layer with this foundation, but it is supposed to be buildable. This is the Real Technique sponge. I always link everything down below. It's one of my favorite sponges. Actually, I think this is my favorite. It's affordable. It's better than the Beauty Blender in my opinion. I feel like it gives the best coverage out of all the makeup sponges. And I think we got like the same amount of coverage. We might have gotten a tiny bit better coverage with the brush, but barely noticeable. As far as the finish on either sides, both of them look very similar. Looks like a satin finish. So I'm gonna go in for a second layer. Kind of feeling the sponge better actually. Yeah, I think either the brush or sponge is totally fine, but I'm kind of feeling the sponge. Okay, so I have 2 layers on. Let's take a look. Looks really nice. Very skin-like. Even with 2 layers though, I wouldn't say it is totally full coverage. Like, you're not gonna get Marc Jacobs Remarkable kind of coverage with this. Even on my forehead, I can see some of my freckles, which I like. It kind of makes it look more like skin. Really like the finish of it. Beautiful satin finish. A little bit cakey around my nose. So, whoa, knocking over the coffee. So I'm gonna show you guys a close-up. I turned down the lights, so hopefully you can actually see what it looks like in real life. You can still see some scarring and freckles and stuff showing through, but it does look really nice and smooth. I like the finish of it. Forehead looks really nice, and I need to pluck the brows, so just ignore that. Can you see what I mean right here? It's a little bit around the nose already starting, right there. It is starting to look a little bit more matte as it's sitting on my face and starting to set. I feel like that was the quickest application ever now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah, that was super fast. So it's 7:33 now. I'm gonna apply the rest of my makeup and I will be right back. Okay, so it's now 7:57. Let's call it 8 o'clock. I like how it looks. It feels a little bit heavy. You know that feeling when you're wearing like MAC Studio Fix and you just feel like you're wearing a ton of makeup? I kind of feel like that. I don't know if it's because of the 2 layers or the powder I used or what, but even before the powder, it just felt kind of like I could feel it on my face. This is supposed to be good on camera. Let's take a selfie. I'm gonna turn the flash on so we can see if there's any kind of bounce back. Okay, gross picture, but this looks really good on flash. Now that I have powder and everything on, it is looking super flawless. So let's talk about what I used really quick. I ordered the Kat Von D white concealer. I'm so excited about this. Thank you, Kat Von D. Basically, you can mix this in with any of your concealers. I use the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind because this one is too dark for me. And I mixed in a tiny bit of this and it was heavenly. This is going to be a lifesaver, I can already tell. I kind of want to just try mixing this in with foundation too. Highlight is Catrice Glam Fusion eyeshadow in Jon Snow's favorite. This is beautiful as a highlight and it's like $2. Then on my lips is Too Faced Melted Matte Lipstick in Cool Girl. So since this is supposed to last 15 hours, I'm going to wear this as long as possible today. We're getting an early start, so I think we might be able to make it. Shade-wise, it matches barely. I do think it's a little bit, not dark, just a little bit too peachy or orangey for my skin tone. If this was a tiny bit pinker, I think I would really like the shade. If you're lighter than me, I think 0.5 would be too dark. I think I could still mix in a mixer possibly. I need coffee, I need avocado toast. We will be back. All right, so it's now 3 o'clock, so the foundation's been on for 7 hours. It looks good. It is totally still on everywhere. My only complaint is that it's starting to crease around my nose area, and it looks like I'm for sure wearing foundation. My skin just looks kind of textured. I feel like it doesn't look as skin-like as some of my other foundations. You can see it on my forehead a little bit. I feel like you can just kind of see it sitting on top of my skin. My pores look pretty big right now. Nothing horrible, it just doesn't look very natural to me. I don't know if it's just with the powder that I used. I might try using this not with the powder next time. So I think it looks nice. Just at this point, I feel like I have other foundations that feel more invisible, but we'll see how it wears. I'm gonna try and keep this on as late as possible. The event was super fun. I snapped all of it. It was basically like a fashion show thing for Neiman Marcus, and I've never been to a fashion show before, so that was really cool. Now I'm gonna get some work done. I'm on my knees right now, so all right, so it's now 9:30 p.m. so the foundation's been on for about 13 and a half hours, almost 14 hours, so I feel like I've given it a good wear test. I'm freaking exhausted right now, so I'm gonna take off my makeup and get into bed. For the foundation being on for almost 14 hours, it looks really good. I feel like this is one of the first foundations in a while that has pretty much totally controlled my oil. I haven't powdered or touched up at all throughout the day, and around my nose and my forehead, it doesn't look super oily at all. With that being said, I definitely feel like this is one of those foundations, at least on me, the amount I put on and with a powder, you can see the texture. It looks like you're wearing makeup. I just feel like it's not the most flawless finish. Like, you can definitely see texture, but for 14 hours, like, damn, this looks pretty good. You can kind of see it like cracking a little bit right here. And around the nose area, it looks a little bit cakey. You can see right here. I think it oxidized a tad throughout the day. Under this light, it doesn't look as bad, but I was just in the bathroom lighting and it definitely looked like it had oxidized a little bit. I would say if you have oily skin or combo skin and you've been struggling to find a foundation that actually really stays on your face and you don't need super full coverage, this one might work really well for you. I think I'll probably like this better with a couple of Cover FX drops mixed in, just to give a little bit more coverage, or Marc Jacobs Remarkable. I do love how long lasting this is. Dry skin, I think this could work just because the way it went on without a powder did feel very gel-like and kind of moisturizing. I want to try this without a powder to see how it holds up. I usually update you guys on Snapchat of those things. I'm not totally in love with this. I'm not in love with how it feels on my face. It feels very heavy. So that's my thoughts on this foundation. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. Let me know down below if you're excited for Foundation Friday next week. I'm actually filming next week's video tomorrow because I'm gonna be gone for like 10 days, so I have to pre-record 2 Foundation Friday videos. Lots of Foundation Fridays happening. Love you guys. Thanks for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.